Second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 40 in the GNT. Listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. When the disasters come, you must live as people whose home is not in this world. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well, and as always, peace and salutations unto the elect. All right, it's Brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch. It's going to be a quick lesson, all right? And as we know, we're getting ready to come into the worst time that ever took place on the planet Earth, all right? That's going to outdo the flood. That's going to outdo 70 AD. That's going to outdo slavery, chattel slavery of you so-called Negroes, all right? Latinos and Native Americans over here in the Americas, man, all right? Anything in past history that you can think of has nothing on what we're getting ready to go through right now, all right? And we're entering into the last leg of this straight gate, okay? The last part of the straight gate, which when you look at a boxing match, let's look at something corner like a boxing match or a person who runs a marathon, all right? When they get to the last, all right, end of that marathon or that boxing match, it's always the hardest. Why? All right, because you have to dig down, all right, in order to push through. All right, you're fatigued, you're tired, you're aching, you know, you're just ready for it to be over, but you got to dig deep in order to finish, man. And we're getting ready, all right, to come into this last leg of the straight gate that we're going to have to push through. All right. And you have a lot of Israelite leaders out there who are not preparing the minds of their congregation, who's not pushing the mindset of getting ready to let go of everything that we have in this world, because it's going to take place. All right, just like it reads in this chapter right here, Second Esdras chapter 16. When you keep reading down around the 70th verse, it talks about how he's going to be like a madman, and we know that he to be Esau Edom. All right, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, the devil shall come down onto you having great wrath, because he knows that he had but a short time. All right, so he's going to come down like a madman, and he's not going to spare anybody. All right, in this system that he's going to set up is going to ultimately, you're going to be cut off if you're not going to be willing to accept, all right, that MOTB. You see, you're going to be cut off from society, and ultimately you're going to be killed, man. You see, you can be cut off from society or you can be killed, man. That's going to be your option that everybody is getting ready to face. The scriptures talk about an hour of temptation. You see, what is that going into? That's going into the time that where you're going to be tried. You see, the time of Jacob's trouble. All this stuff is getting ready to hit the planet Earth. But you have a lot of Israelite leaders who are not pushing, all right, thus saith the Lord, man. You see, ultimately they're pushing their own mindset, their own agendas, man. You see, but let me jump up, man. Like it says, I'm gonna read this one more time. Second Esdras 16 and verse 40 says, listen to my message, my people, and get ready for the battle. What battle? All right, the hour of temptation and the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. It says, and when the disasters come, you must live as people whose home is not in this world. All right, I'm going to jump up to verse 35. All right, Second Esdras 16 and 35 in the GNT. It says, now listen to my message, you people who serve the Lord. It is the Lord's message, so receive it and believe what he says. Yeah, you see, so what does the Lord say? The Lord said it's going to be a time of trying, man. You see, the Lord said it's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, a time like never before. You see, so if you have, you know, these particular Israelite leaders who saying there's not going to be any Jacob's trouble, all right, we're not going to have to go anything in order to, make it into the kingdom, get into the kingdom. Well, that ain't what the Lord said, man. You see, it says this is the message of the Lord. Believe him, man. Believe what he says. The Lord says we're going to have to go through it. Yahweh Shai even told us, man, if you want to follow me, you shall surely drink of this cup, man. Okay. You shall surely drink of this cup, man. You see? And just like as a Passover, he gave him the wine. He said, drink all of it. We got to drink all of that cup, man. You see? Meaning we're going to have to go through it. We're going to be here on the planet Earth, all right, in the worst times in the worst time that ever took place. You see? That far outdoes anything that you can think of, man. That far outdoes the flood. That far outdoes the time of 70 AD. That far outdoes, you know, the time where, you know, you so-called Negroes were taken in, you know, in cattle slavery, man. You see over here in the Americas, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You see, it's going to be worse than that. Worse than anything that you can think of that's happened in the past, man. This is the time that we're getting ready to come into. So what mindset should we be in? What mindset should these Israelite leaders be pushing? Should they be telling our people to, you know, to cling to the world? All right. That we're not going to have to go through anything, or should they be telling our people, look, we're going to have to, let this shit go. You see? Because like I said, man, when you read in this chapter, it tells you that, we're going to be cast out of our houses. Our goods are going to be taken away. We're going to only thing that we're going to have is our faith, man. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and that's enough. You see, that's going to be enough for the elect at the end of the day. You see? But it says the disasters are approaching rapidly and they will not be delayed. And we see that taking place right now. These disasters are getting ready to, hey, man, it's a bird right here. Man, hey, call hello, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, bro. Man, a bird just landed on my, man, as a spirit. But, Salakia. So we're getting ready to face, go through the hardest time on the planet Earth, man. But I want to go to this right here in Chat GPT because I had pulled it up, to get a deeper. Let's go into it. Let's see what Chat GPT says about 2 Esdras chapter 16 and verse 40. All right. As you can see, I asked it, what does it mean? What does 2 Esdras 40 in the GNT mean? It says 2 Esdras 40, 16 and 40 in the Good News translation says, listen, my people, take my advice, live like people whose home is not in this world. It says this verse is a call to spiritual detachment from the things of this world. It means living with a mindset that this life, our possessions, status, and comfort is temporary and not the ultimate goal. You see? But you have Israelite leaders who are pushing that, this is the ultimate goal. Making it, establishing on this side is the ultimate goal. Having it on this side is the ultimate goal, man. When it's not. You see, yes, we're in the world. We have to, work, and we have to have a place to say, there's nothing wrong with wanting to have nice things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is not where our heart's at, man. Because as Yahweh Shah said, where a man's treasure is, so will his heart be. You see, and it's clear that a lot of these Israelites, a lot of these people who calling themselves Israelite, their mindset, their hearts are set on this world, man. You see, they're invested, in this world. And when you go into the etymology of that word invested or invest, it means to what? It means to be clothed, to clothe in the official robe of an office, or to clothe in, or to cover. You see, so they're covered, or they're dressed on the garment of the world. They're truly not, they truly haven't put on the garments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. You see, because their mindset hasn't changed, man. They just know that they're Israelites, but they still have a worldly mindset. They're still attached to this world, and when this shit collapses, all right, they're gonna lose, man. You see, they're gonna lose, man. All right, because you're gonna have to be willing to let this shit go, man. Everything that you have, we're gonna have to step out on faith, man. You see, and like I said, faith is enough. You can read throughout the scriptures on how our forefathers stepped out on faith and how the Lord always came through. Sirach chapter 2 and 10. It says, look, man. Come on, bro. It's a lock if I'm everywhere with it, man. It's Sirach chapter 2 and verse 10, man. It says, look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? You see? So there you go, man. The faith is going to be enough for us in the times that we coming into, in the times to where we're going to have to let this shit go. All right, you're going to lose the connection with your family, with friends that you may have had in the world. You're going to lose that. You're going to lose your house, your goods, your car. All that's going to be taken from you. You're going to be left with nothing carnally, man. The only thing that you're going to have is faith, man. And Esau is not going to be able to take that from you. You see? No matter what this devil do, he's not going to be able to take the faith from the elect. All right. And it's not going to stop them from being faithful unto the Lord. Because as it says, all right, in the book of Sirach, it says that their faith, when you read in chapter 1, is it chapter 1 or is this one? Yeah, I think it's chapter 1. Let me see. Yep. It says Sirach 1 and 14. It says to fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. All right. So it's in their DNA and to be faithful unto the Lord, man. There's nothing that Esau can do to bribe the elect. All right. To stop them from being faithful unto the Lord, man. All right. Even taking away everything that they have in this world carnally, and it looks crazy. These people are they already looking at us crazy, man. You see what we telling them, man. Get ready. This place is going to be destroyed by fire. These people think we crazy, just like they thought our forefather Noah was, man. All right. Well, let's go back. All right. It says here are key ideas behind that message. It says, number one, heavenly focus. It encourages people to live with their eyes set on eternal things, God's kingdom, rather than being overly invested in the temporary pleasures or concerns of this world. Yeah, that's right. You see, what should your mindset be? This is telling you what the mindset you should have. It encourages people to live with their eyes set on heavenly, on internal things, the Most High's kingdom, rather than overly invested. Remember, we went into that word invested. What does it mean? To being overly clothed, to be clothed in, man. And you want to be clothed in some temporary clothes that your ass gonna have to take out, man. You see, that's gonna be destroyed. It says temporary pleasures or concerns of this world, man. You see, so what shall our mindset be? Let's go to the book of let's go to Colossians, man. You see, just like it says in the book of Peter, man. All right, Second Peter's. I'm gonna grab that too real quick before I go to this, but I'm gonna pull this up right here in the MSG real quick. All right, Salakia. Let's go to the MSG. Let's get this Second Peter's real quick, man. All right, Second Peter's chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse. Let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works therein that are therein shall be burnt up." You see, it says, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?" And we know that word conversation goes back to your manner of living. How should you be living? What should your mindset be, knowing that these things are going to be dissolved? You see, because you don't hear these other Israelite leaders talking about this, man. Telling these people, look, man, the Lord, this place is going to be dissolved. Look, we're getting ready to come into they're setting up this infrastructure. They're making it to where you're going to have to take this technology. And if you don't want to take this technology, if you don't want to worship this system, you're going to be killed. You're going to be ostracized from society. You're going to be cut off. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to get water or food. You see, they're not telling these people that, they're preparing their mind for it, man. And telling them to trust in the Lord, man. You see? So seeing all these things shall be dissolved, what person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, man. The same verse in the NLT, since everything around us is going to be destroyed like this, what holy and godly lives should you live? You see? So what should our mindset be? Colossians chapter 3 and verse 1 in the MSG, it says, "So if you are serious about living this new resurrection life with Hamashiach, act like it. Pursue the things over which Hamashiach presides." You see, those eternal things, like we read in that chat GPT. All right, like it said. All right, the Most High's kingdom. Set our affections on things that are above, like it says in the KJV. It says, "Don't shuffle along, eyes to the ground, absorbed with things that are right in front of you." Yeah, you absorb with the world, man. All right, you absorb. What does that mean to be absorbed, man? Hopefully it pull up. It says to of energy or a liquid or other substance and taken up or soaked in. It says having one's interest fully engaged, greatly interested. You see, you shouldn't be greatly interested. You should be more interested, all right, in the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and his will being done on the earth, man. You see, pushing forth, and like it says in 2 Peter, hastening that day. You see, doing everything, preparing our minds. Hey, getting in the mindset of, yeah, this is, hey, we just here, man. This is a prison. We in prison. We waiting to get out of this place, man. You see, Yahushua is coming to loose us, man. He's coming to set us free from this place, man. Why the fuck would I want to build, all right, or establish something in a prison that if I'm in prison, man? You see, this is a term of punishment, man. Why I want to build something in a goddamn prison, bro? You know, no. But a lot of people are fully, like it says, or having one's attention fully engaged, man. They're absorbed in things that they see right in front of them. All right, they're with their carnal eyes, man. Having it on this side, you see. It says, "Don't shuffle along, eyes to the ground, absorb with the things right in front of you. Look up, be alert to what's going on around Hamashiach. That's where the action is. See things from his perspective." Now, what is the perspective of Yahushua? Well, he wants the Lord's will to be done. He wants the Father's will to be done, man. He's ready to come back and establish and do the Lord and do his Father's will, man. You see, just like we in that same mindset. All right. It says your old life is dead. Your new life, which is your real life, even though invisible to spectators, is with Hamashiach in the Most High. You see, because you're supposed to be dead unto this. You're supposed to be dead to this world, man. You see, our true life, which is Yahushua, all right, our life is hidden, and when he comes back, then we're gonna, it's gonna be revealed, man. You see, it says, when Hamashiach, your real life, remember, shows up on this earth, because a lot of these dudes are not living like Yahushua is their real life, man. You see, they're saying, man, you are my life. Yeah, hey, we live for Yahushua. We don't live for our fucking self, man. You got a lot of these Israelite leaders are living for themselves, and you can tell by how the doctrine that they pushing out and the mindset they pushing out and how they acting, the pride that's on these niggas. You see, they're living for their damn self, man. Let's see what it says, and this is going to prove it. It says, when Hamashiach, your real life, remember, shows up again on this earth, you will show up too, the real you, the glorious you. Meanwhile, be content. This is the point. Be content with obscurity like Hamashiach. You see, what does that mean? What does obscurity mean? You see, let's go to it. The definition of that word obscurity, the state of being unknown, inconspicuous, or unimportant. You see, and it's clear that a lot of these niggas, they want fame on this side, bro. We're not worried about fame. You don't see our apostles worrying about, us being a status and having, and being famous on this side, man. No. Brothers was, making pictures, with the glowing eye of the apostles. Like, man, don't do that, man. These are the real leaders that Yahweh Shem Yahushua have set up for us in these end times, man. And it's clear by their example, man. Ever since the apostles have never took a day off, man. Literally, bro. They're constantly going and on fucking fire. That's an example, man. You see, that's an example of a man of the Lord. You see, not like these other leaders, bro. And they're in the mindset of they just like a Mashiach was. Like the scriptures say, he didn't make himself of a reputation, man. You see, it says, meanwhile, be content with obscurity like a Mashiach. Yeah. You see why? Because he was there to push forth his Father's will, just like we're here to push forth Yahweh Shem Yahushua's will, man. You see, we're not here to make a name for our damn self. You see, we're trying to get a name, all right, that's going to last forever, man. And then, like it said, the real us will appear when Yahushua comes, man. You see, because the elect is going to be beamed up and changed, man. You see, because these bodies are holding us back right now. Everything about this life is oppressive, man. It's oppressing us and keeping us back from who we truly are. If we are those spirit that goes back until Yahweh goes back with Yahushua, all right, in Genesis chapter 1, all right. Everything about this place, all right, is oppressing us and keeping us back, even this flesh, man. As the scriptures say, the spirit warred against the flesh, one against another. You see, the scriptures call it this flesh, the chains of darkness. So we locked up, man. We're bound by this flesh. You see, and we're groaning, man. Like it says in the book of Romans, we want to be free. You see, and Yahushua is coming back to set us free. That way, when he come back, like it said, I'm gonna read that part again. He is your life. When Hamashiach, your real life, remember, shows up again on this earth, you will show up too, the real you. Yeah, you see, because this flesh is stopping us from being truly who we really are, man. All right, if we are those spirits, man. You see, but I want to jump down. Let's jump down to verse 9. Let's jump down to verse 9, man. It says, "Don't lie one to another. You're done with that old life. It is like a filthy set of ill-fitting clothes you stripped off and put in the fire." Yeah, going back into it being invested. You see, at once we were Gentiles, like it says in the book of Ephesians, but now what? All right, we've been quickening, man. We're taking off that old clothing, man. You see, the clothing of the world, and what have we done? It says, now you're dressed in a new wardrobe. Every item of your new way of life is custom made by the Creator with his label on it. You see, we got the most top-notch clothes on the planet Earth, man, spiritually, man. You see niggas go crazy over Jordans and Gucci and all that shit. No, the clothes that we got is custom made, man, by the Creator himself, and it has his name on the label. You see, we're invested, man, being clothed in this truth, man. You see, it says all the old fashions are now obsolete. Yeah, that old way, the worldly clothes, man, that we had on. You see, at one point in time. So let's go back. Let's go back to this chat GPT. Let's get a couple of more, then I'll end it off. All right, it says number 2, spiritual readiness. In the context, 2 Esdras chapter 16 speaks of tribulation and judgment. The verses urges believers to live as pilgrims or strangers, ready to move, not rooted in worldly things, because hard times are coming, and being spiritually prepared matters more than physical comfort. And exactly, you see. But here it is. You have some leaders. You have some man that's pushing this mindset of being pilgrims, you see, and being spiritually prepared for the time that we coming into, and not being physically comforted, having that physical comfort on this side. Then you have those who are pushing that physical comfort and not worrying about being spiritually prepared for what's getting ready to take place. Verse number 3, it says this detachment and trust. It says it's not saying to abandon responsibility. It says, but to not cling to material things, relationships, or social systems as your ultimate source of identity or security. Trust in the Most High above all. You see, I'm gonna read that again. It says it is not saying to abandon responsibility, but to not cling to material things, relationships, or social systems as your ultimate source of identity or security. It is exactly, man. You see, because we here at Great Millstone started when our apostle was telling, all right, you brothers and sisters out there to what? All right, hey, we trust in the Lord, man. You see, don't trust in this shit, man. The world, the peace that the world has to offer is truly not peace. It's an illusion. You see. That's why Yahushua said what he said, through me you have peace. Yahushua is the one who ultimately, all right, we get peace through. You see, I'm going to keep going for time's sake. As it says, it echoes the New Testament to Hebrews 13 and 14. For here we do not have an enduring city, but we are looking for a city that is to come. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, man. All right, it says also, let's break it down with some practical ways to live like people whose home is not in this world, in our everyday lives, without becoming disconnected from reality. 1, it says holding things loosely. You can enjoy things like your job, money, relationships, or possessions, but don't let them define your identity or be your source of ultimate security. Practical example, it says if you lose a job or material things, yes, it's hard, but it won't crush you, because your hope is rooted in something deeper than earthly success. All right. And that's right. You see, that's why when this place collapses, these people are going to lose it, bro. They're going to lose it. Their hopes are going to be crushed, man. You see, ours are not. Why? Because we're looking. All right. And this reminds me of that scripture in 2nd Esdras, man. Let's go to it real quick. I know I said I'm going to, grab a couple of more. 2nd Esdras chapter 7. All right. In verse, let me see. In verse 18, it says, nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wide. For they have done, it says, for they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things and yet shall not see the wide. Yeah, they're not going to have no hope, man. You see, so that shows you that everybody is going to go through it. You can't avoid it, man. All right. Just like that nigga Thanos said, I'm inevitable, man. These prophecies are unavoidable, man. The time of Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, all this is unavoidable. You're going to have to go through it, man. It's going to be a time to where you're going to be tested. But I hope when this shit falls, when those straight times come, all right, I hope it's not going, we're going to hope for the wide, man. You see, we're going to have hope. But these people hope, their hope is of the world, and they're going to lose, man. They're going to lose, bro. And boy, what a fall they going to take, Verse number 2, it says, stay spiritually alert. It says the verse is part of a chapter about end time chaos. Living like you're not of this world means being awake spiritually, not lulled to sleep by comfort or distraction. Practical example, regular prayer, studying scriptures, and being aware of spiritual battles, while others might just be focused on trends, comfort, or social media. Bro, this is what you're seeing. We seeing this shit. You see? While everybody else, all right, from people in Israel, all right, to your everyday people that's not in the truth, all right, we seeing that they're being distracted, all right. They're focused on trends and comforts and social media, man. You see these goddamn Israelite bitches doing TikToks and shit. You know what I'm saying? With their fucking head wraps on. That everybody is so engulfed in this world, but you're gonna have a remnant that's gonna be what? They're gonna be praying on the regular, they're gonna be studying the scripture, and they're gonna be aware of the spiritual battles. The battles, man. You see these everyday, tests that we go through. All right, these everyday times to where Salakia. Yeah, these are these times to where the Lord is putting us through, man. All right, in order to teach us particular lessons, man. All right, but number 3, it says live generously and selflessly. It says if this world isn't your final destination, you can be more bold in how you love and serve others. You're not hoarding for yourself. You're building for eternity. It says example, it says giving time, money, or energy to help others, especially when it costs you something, because you're not living just for your own gain. And that's exactly how, all right, Yahweh Shai ordered us to live, man. You see, we have to deny ourselves, man. You see, ultimately going back, let me get this scripture and then I'll read a little bit more, end it off. This is Luke, all right, chapter 17 and verse 33. I'm reading the NLT. All right. It's Luke chapter 17 and verse 33. Well, I'm going to start at verse 32. It says, remember what happened to Lot's wife. If you cling to your life, you will lose it. And if you let your life go, it says you will save it. All right. And that's exactly right. Just like we read up in this chat GPT to where it says holding things loosely, man. Number 1. All right. I'll read that one more time. It says you enjoy things like your job and money and relationships or possessions. It says, but you don't let them define your identity or be your source of ultimate security. It says you lose a job or material things. Yes, it hurts, but it won't crush you because your hope is rooted in something deeper than earthly success, man. And that's exactly what our hope is rooted in, man. All right, let's go to number 5. Let me see. 4, prioritizing eternal values. Things like the truth, justice, love, mercy, and faithfulness matter more than popularity, money, or personal achievements. You see? But you got these men, all right, who claiming to be Israelite leaders. They're more concerned about popularity, money, and personal achievement, man. Rather than truth, justice, love, and mercy, man, and faithfulness. It says example. It says you might choose honesty over cutting corners at work, even if it costs you, or you might stand for what is right, even if it's unpopular, man. And ain't great millstone that. All right, we stand for the truth, even if it's unpopular, man. All right, even if people look at us, even if just look how these people look at us, man. Look how Israel they already blaming us, But through that, we know that we doing right, man, because Yahweh Shema Shah said what? Blessed when man separate you from their company and speak evil of your name. All right. For you to, we got great treasures in heaven, man. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. It says verse number 5. It says, be ready to move. Like a traveler, you're not attached to where you are. If God calls you to change directions emotionally, spiritually, or even physically, you're open. All right. And that's right. That's how we have to be. That's our mindset. OK. It says an example. It says you might feel called to leave a comfort zone, whether that's a toxic relationship, a safer career, or a location, because you're more loyal to God's purpose than to comfort. Ain't Abraham an example of that? The Lord told Abraham to leave his family, man, go and just bounce out, man. And he stepped out on faith and did it, man. And look what the Lord did for our forefather Abraham, man. He earned a promise through being faithful to the Lord, man. You see, by stepping out on faith, man, that faith made him a friend to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. You see, and faith makes us a friend to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai as well. You see, but we coming into a time to where we're going to have to step out on that faith, man, because that's all we're going to have. And that's that's going to be that gold. That's going to be that treasure that the scriptures talk about. All right. And it's Isaiah 33, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of thy salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You see? That faith, man, this gift that the Lord gave us it's gonna fucking shine in that day, bro. The time that we coming into. And ain't nobody gonna be able to get it. You're gonna have to go into Jacob's trouble with it. You're not gonna snap it. A lot of these people think that they're just gonna, a lot of people really think that they're gonna be, rafted, what they call that shit, raptured up. They're not gonna have to go through anything. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of these Israelite groups think that they're not gonna have to go through nothing, man. They in for a rude awakening, man, and you're going to have, just like that parable of the 10 virgins, the 5 foolish and 5 wise, man. When this time comes, you're going to have them, them niggas who were playing and I need some oil. I ain't got nothing for you, bro. You're not going to be able to get it then. You see? It's available right now, but you're not going to be able to get it once this shit start rolling, man. Once the Lord shut these doors of mercy, after that, these people are not going to be able to, when they're going to lose everything, they're going to be looking at the man of the Lord and your brothers and sisters out there, all right, who are believers that the Lord is protecting and bringing through that. And they're going to want what you have. Man, how do you have this protection? How do you have this? Can I have some? Can I get some of that? No. You ain't going to snap into it. You ain't going to be no fucking snapping. You ain't going to snap into no Slim Jim, man. You're going to have to be practicing just like anything else. And we practicing that right now. And the Lord is training us up for the times to come, man. So, hey, with that mindset, hey, have that mindset, hey, we pilgrims in this place, man. You know? But like I said, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to you brothers and sisters out there, man. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone that teach and rule well. And as always, peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.